Hello, guys. Jason from Kick the Piss. Today, I want to talk about 10 things that you can do to quit drinking for good. Today, we really want to just talk about how can you take control of your drinking? How can you take control of your life? And how ultimately you can move your life forward in a way that serves you, your family, and the community. First of all, it's important when you're stopping drinking to acknowledge the problem of you stopping drinking. You need to acknowledge that there's an issue, because you can't fix anything that you don't acknowledge. And if you don't acknowledge that there's a problem, you can't work on it. Step two, set clear goals. So you want to have a goal. Do you want to cut down your drinking? Do you want to remove drinking out of your life altogether? Or do you just want to have a better life? If you've got a clear target, you can move towards that target. And that's why it's important to have a clear goal, a clear target. And on that, you need to have a really clear support system in your life. Someone that you can talk to, someone that you can go, oh, look, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm working towards. And you can let them know your goals and then seek professional help, whatever that looks like for you. Some people need rehab. Some people need medical detox. Some people need whatever they need. And some people just need some people to encourage, inspire, and move them forward. So that's why it's important to have a really good community of people that are around you, whether it's your family, friends, or you find a community online that can help you, because ultimately it's about you making a decision for yourself, about you moving your life forward in the way that you want, and about you being the person that you need to be. And then find healthy coping mechanism, because alcohol is a coping mechanism that we've found in our lives that work for us until it doesn't work for us. And then what happens is when we take that away, we still have the stress, we still have the problems, we still have all the things that are going to show up in our lives to keep us stuck in that loop of negative cycle that alcohol brings into our lives. It's important that we find new ways to cope. And that can be learning new skills, new hobbies. Just find something that works. And then avoid the triggers. It's important that you identify the triggers that keep you stuck in that habitual loop, whether it's coming home and having a drink after work. You need to avoid those situations. What you can do is, instead of going home and you have a drink, you go to the gym first, just to break that cycle, to break that constant reinforcement. Because when we stop at one habit, it will either be replaced with a new habit or continue on the same habit. It's important we find a habit and we place that trigger, because what a trigger is telling our bodies, our mind, that this is the time that this happens. It's important that we replace that trigger and find new triggers that trigger positive behaviors. And that's why it's important to learn new skills and create a sober routine. That's done back to the triggers as well. You've got to have a routine that encourages and inspires you to keep moving your life in this sober way. Because if you're doing the same things over and over again, eventually you'll just go back to the old ways. You've got to develop daily habits, daily schedule that doesn't involve alcohol. And then also, it's really important that you celebrate the small wins, not only with yourself, for yourself, and with others. But you need to feel as though that you're moving forward. You need to feel as though that your life is progressing. And how do you do that if you don't acknowledge the small little wins? Even 1 minute, 1 hour, 1 second of sobriety is better than none. So that's what you do. You celebrate the small wins day after day, and eventually the small wins become the big wins. And that's how we move our lives forward. And then focus on your why, because this comes back to, you need to know why you're doing this. Because if there's no real reason why you're doing something, regardless of what it is, you're not going to have that continuous drive, the continuous moving forward, the continuous momentum to move your life in the direction that you want. And that's why, if you've got a goal and you've got a why, those two things are more powerful than anything else. But all the rest, put into place the habits and the things to move your life in the direction that you want. And then last but not least is to be patient and kind with yourself, because this is a process, may take time, and it may be uncomfortable, but that's okay. You need to be uncomfortable to get comfortable in something different. So you find comfort eventually in the uncomfortable. So that's how we level up our lives. Regardless of what your skill you're developing, or regardless of what you are developing in life, you have to, first of all, step into something that's uncomfortable or unusual or different. And that's okay. That's how we grow. That's how we evolve. And that's how we move our lives forward. And If this is something that resonates with you, if you're a man and you want to step into your power and you want to be the man that you ultimately deserve to be, if you want to be the person that you were born to be, and if you want to step into your power, go to kickthepiss.com, go access the free training, access the things that I've put together for you. And ultimately, just be yourself. Be happy with where you're going and know that you're on the right path. Day by day, we'll get there. We'll work together, and we, as a team, will get you to where you want to go. You have to do the work. You have to decide this for yourself. And ultimately, now it's time for you to believe in yourself. And remember, I've got your back.